Okay, so last time we managed to fall into a room and managed to not be eviscerated by whatever amalgamation of an android that was found in that room while we were crawling through a ductwork. Uh, it almost got to Johnny, but Billy, having fighting it off before it managed to touch him, scared it off and made it go away while we were all recovering. When it disappeared, the group found itself in a very Costco like seeming storage room. All these shelves packed with different materials and items that could be normally found on a spaceship. And the group decided to investigate the room and see if they could find out where the creature went. And as they were traversing through the aisles of shelves, Larry noticed a stack of panels, much like actually, I think they were exactly like the panels that were reacting to the group inside the Sector A's walls. Making note of that, they then progressed on until Billy finally found the hole at the top of the room where the creature escaped to. And since he didn't have enough confidence of being able to toss his glow stick in there, Larry managed to toss in a small metal object and to see if it was still back there. He tossed it, but no reaction was found. So the group decided to move on with their lives and go eastward. Uh, so once they reached the east side of the room, they hesitantly tried to see if the door was rigged, with Larry testing whether or not the doorknob was gonna like shock him or melt his hand off. And Billy decides that there's no need for caution and just kicks the door open. They then progress to the next door in the hallway, which is the exact same office kind of door. And Billy surprisingly goes, "Oh yeah," and kicks that were open too. The group then finds themselves in if I'm remembering correctly, the a office office sector with a door leading to engineering on their north side and a couple hallways going further in and one to the south that's closed off. The group goes further in to look at a terminal to see if they can find a directory that would help them get to the chief scientific observation room that they were trying to get to previously and find some information about a chief advisor, Lisa, I think it was, um, that was seemingly a high position in the science division, and her sending out an email or a company mail stating that there would be a meeting at the staff experimental room. I can't remember the exact title of the room, but something like that. And the group decides that that would probably be a good place to find clues as to how to get to the chief scientific observation room from there. But before that, we decide that Larry needs a better wrench or possibly a crowbar. And what better place than an engineering room? So they turn around, go to the engineering room, and they find that it is not as impressive as it was believed to be. Just a smaller room with um, containers of if you rupture this is gonna fuck your day up, and not much else. So with bitter disappointment, Larry just walks out with no new shiny wrench. So the group then proceeds back on their course to go eastward and go on to enter a terminal, a series of servers in a room with a few terminals in it, where they gain access to more specific information on employees. And while there, they try to get some more information on the chief advisor, as well as the people that um, Billy has badges for. And they don't find too much information, just more personal backstory on them, which doesn't lead to anything, but there you go. So after that, they continue on going east, and they are met with a blocked door with uh, some kind of blockage on the other side. Billy tries to get it open, but then resorts to having to use his old and trusty shoulder to get it open. So naturally, he rams his way through, but he rams himself through to a group of three androids, which initiates our next combat. During it, he tries to shoot his assailant and is forced to miss because the android tossed his arm aside, and Billy uh, is knocked aside while Larry tries to go in and help him and manages to injure the android on Billy enough to where after he goes to the side to give Rice um, enough clearance for whatever he's going to do, uh, Rice then shoots the android, kills it, and proceeds to close the door, making sure that he's on the other side of where was going to happen next. That is when the androids that are still standing proceed to engage with both Billy and Larry. And during the course of the fight, Billy manages to do some damage to his opponent, and Larry, right before he engages his, uh, is approached by his android, stating that he has some kind of malfunction and needs assistance, and proceeds to barf, shall we say,
Yeah.
a certain version of ejaculation of oil all over Larry. So, with that healthy mental image, Larry just manages to create the very first critical success in the game for us, and takes his wrench, makes a full 360, swings at the android's head, manages to pop it off, and cause that head to hit the other android and kill it too, all while getting all his coating off of himself, which leads into the other android giving Billy his own measure of coating. So combat ends, and Rice finds that there is a certain lack of noise that was expected, reloads his gun, and peeks in to just find devastation, but not of his friends. After settling why there was a use of doors at a weird time, the party moves on. And oh, but not before investigating the androids and finding that the androids were damaged beforehand, and it was because there were certain parts ripped out of them, leading to the conclusion that this has something to do possibly with the amalgamation of androids. So the party moves on, continuing to go east, and they get to a door with a panel that has access and that leads to accessing it. But for some reason, they can't get it open because they don't have the correct badges. They managed to get far enough to require a two-factor badge access, but they don't have the second one. So the group tries going north to a recreation botanical garden like room where they try to find the badge in there, and all they can find is pristine park-like setting full of crickets and ducks that are simulated, and a garbage bin that contains a balled up, bloody paper of teeth. With that pretty picture, the group decides, nah, let's search somewhere else and go back to the door. Try again, different combination of the badges. And during that time, Billy pulls out his PDA and plugs into the panel to find a small directory listing out the required badges of specific personnel, among them being the chief advisor. I keep saying chief advisor. She might be a different title. Anyway, the chief advisor and four Navy like titles of um, ranks of, I would assume, military or security personnel. So now we have five potential leads of badges that we can use for the second part of the panel access. So the group decides to go back the way they came, back towards the the office rooms to see if they can find those badges. And just before reaching the door towards where the server room was, they hear footsteps on the other side, and deciding on what to do next time, that is where we ended off.
Very nice. So, Mike, I gotta ask.
All right.
Mike, I gotta ask. After all these synopses you do of each one of our play sessions, do you take copious notes, or how do you keep track of everything that happened in the last session?
It's partially out of memory, so
Man,
that's why I don't remember specific details. And
you have a fantastic memory. You
well,
recite
like
stuff,
I
and I'm
said,
like, I don't even remember that happening. But yeah, it did.
like I said, it's partially. It's also because I do listen back to the recordings whenever you upload them.
If I upload them on time, yeah.
But for the most part, I'm just going off memory.
Wow, impressive. Um, just a quick note, in case you guys hear it through Discord, I apologize, and certainly people who will be watching this on YouTube later will probably hear it. I've got some laundry going in the background, so if there's weird sounds coming through, I'll try to keep my mic muted until it's over.
No worries. So I was thinking, like, during the time I was listening to the session 8, I was thinking about whether or not I should try to make the a sound bite for the for Grant, for whenever Billy has that urge.
That'd be great. We'll see how many more stubborn doors we encounter.
I'll add some more in if you add it to the soundboard. That way it
Yes,
doesn't go to
that's
waste.
what we've been missing. We need more doors.
So right, last time there were door footsteps on the other side of the door, and we were about to decide what to do with that. I
Yeah,
would
you guys
imagine we would
are.
just
Oh, God.
I would imagine they would just end up being with Billy rushing on through, shoulder down the way.
It could be.
Yeah,
Could
I'm
be if
reminding
we had the
myself.
sound.
I'm looking at the map from the most recent map that we had, that Max gave us, trying to get an idea of what we're looking at.
Discord, are you okay? Okay, we're fine.
Yeah.
I paused for a second.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys are in the server room. You just came from the big room that says lock, or really, you came from the botanical lounge, but same direction. You came from the east door, and you hear steps from the west side.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If nobody has any ideas, I can give it the old shoulder.
Yeah. I mean, we can't, but the door is unlocked.
But it's blocked from
Uh,
the other side. Is that right?
No,
Blockaded.
no one's
you already.
tested this door.
Oh,
Oh, I thought it was the same door where we fought.
Billy is so interested in.
No.
He's so eager to charge a door that he doesn't even care to check if it's locked or not. Don't ruin the magic. I just want to charge it.
All right, man. I'm just looking out for your shoulder.
No, that's fine. Let's check the lock. Let's see if we can slide it open.
All right, yeah, sure. Someone walks over to the other side of the room, starts messing with the door. Who is it?
Well, if it's not going to be shoulder, I propose it should be Larry since he's the technical guy.
All right. I'll ready my wrench and and I'll creep open the door, see if I can do it stealthily and
Okay,
see
yeah.
what's inside.
You make your way over to the store, and it's got the same usual little touchpad for opening, closing it, and unlocking it. You see it is unlocked, and as you're going through the couple button prompts to open it, you continue to hear that sort of soft, distant footsteps. And then right before you're about to open up the door, you hear this real heavy metal grinding sound, like someone dragging a knife through a sheet of metal. Just this ripping sound somewhere from beyond that door.
I back away.
Okay. The other two of you, and Richard all hear this as well.
Hmm. Does it sound like somebody's running a machine, or does it sound like something's being dragged?
Sounds more like something's being dragged.
Okay. Um. All right. Well, I mean, we got to get into this room, right? Or at least that's our best guess at what to do next.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Billy's got his revolver out. He's ready to at least, peek in and see what we can see.
Okay. I don't know about peeking in at this point. I'll check if they're both. Well, I'll say all three, but if they're both ready, and I'll angle myself to be like with not in not in the exact opening of the door, just off to the side, and I'll go ahead and use the panel to open it.
All right. You all get yourselves ready, and Larry, you press the final button to slowly open the door as it slides into the wall. You hear the, hydraulic system let off a little gassy hiss as the door slowly reveals another, usual office-like carpeted hallway that you've been walking through in this section of the station. And immediately, sounds like Billy and Larry, or excuse me, Billy and Rice see Larry. Since you're off to the side, it takes you a little second longer. A handful of androids mid stride pause and do their slow mechanical turn over their shoulder to meet you with their piercing white glowing eyes. And it takes a minute before you recognize beyond them is this large metal scrap looking thing in a almost perfectly cubic shape with metal panels on its surface and the occasional android arm or leg sticking out of it.
Uh-oh.
There's a beat it sounds like, as you all take this in as the androids process what is going on, what they're seeing here. And after that beat, all the androids you see drop these small little cards with lanyards on them
Mm-hmm.
and begin to make their way towards you. They're about halfway down the hall, so you guys have, a second. And they don't really run, they do their mechanical thudding stomp towards you guys.
Okay.
What do you all do?
All right. So the first thing that Billy thinks to do is he reaches into his bag very quickly and pulls out the yellow marked Donna McCallie manager badge that he has, and he holds it up. I presume that the androids can see from the distance that they're at what this is in my hand. Holds it up and he
Yeah, like
says, "Yeah,
the nearest two stop looking sort of at center mass of all of you and watch your arm go up with the card.
okay." Holds up the card and says in a as loud and commanding as of a voice as he can muster in the present circumstances, Donna McCallie, management, what's going on here?"
Could you go ahead and make me a check, please?
Yeah, no problem. All right. So I'm going to roll 2d10 plus a modifier. I'm going to say it's going to be communication.
That sounds right.
Oh, no. Not a 5.
Oh no, indeed. The androids pause long enough for like one step, and then they stop looking at the card and look at you now, Billy, and they say, "This card no longer belongs to you. We must have it. You should not have a card. No one has a card except the Admiral. We must take your card. You must not leave. You must die." If anyone else, unless anyone else wants to do something,
Um,
let's get
um,
initiative, please.
well,
okay.
I'm gonna smash the stupid panel,
Okay,
and
sure.
and right after I do that, I will take a grease wipe, using my my electrical blowtorch. I'll light it up and I'll toss it in there,
Okay.
and then
Oh,
I'll
shit.
say I
Toss it.
can do initiative.
You mean toss it like down the hall towards them, or just sort of
Yeah,
into the? Okay,
yeah, toss it in there just in case the door's just too slow to close.
sure. Could you give me a roll as well for smashing that panel? See if it breaking it gets it to do what you want it to do.
Ooh.
That's pretty good, yeah. You take the butt of your wrench and break the face of the panel, and you see, electrical scramble for a second, and then you hear the hiss again as the door slides itself closed, just in time for the first hand of the android to reach it and begins to paw at it and try and tear down the very metal itself. You must not leave. You must die, die, die. You must die. As you can hear its metal fingers pierce only the surface level of the door and tries to rip through it. What are the other two of
Okay.
you
And
doing?
just to be clear, are we entering combat now, or we're managing to avoid it currently with the door
Yeah,
mostly
Larry
closed?
has bought you at least a little while, it
Good
seems like.
work, Lair. Fast thinking. I hope you have an idea for what we do next, though.
Yeah, didn't we want to go that way?
Yeah.
Uh, I would suggest that we find some way to kill all 6 of them.
Okay.
As you guys are taking a minute to breathe and communicating what you're going to do next, you hear still that slow grinding drag of the cube android amalgamation thing slowly get closer and closer.
Oh God.
Um, So is this the only way to get back to where we were with the engineering room?
No,
Or
for that you would go south. There are 3 doors in the room you're in currently. East is where we just ended the last session. South is the room you, or the way you like got here initially, and you haven't been through this now closed door with the androids
okay.
behind it.
Okay, I look to the other two and I say, let's go back to the engineering, grab one of those canisters, and bring it back over here.
Um, okay, yeah. Sounds
Okay.
like Larry's got a plan. Let's do it.
All right.
Are they?
Yeah.
They're like what, like 20-gallon drums, 30-gallon? Like what size of canister are we talking about?
I don't.
They're like thin and chest high.
Oh, okay.
I'm not familiar with gallons of drums. I couldn't tell you
Yeah.
exactly.
Do you think is it something that one person could carry on their own, or is it a two-person job or more?
Definitely 2.
Okay. All right. Then yeah, let's go back and grab. Do you think one's enough, Larry, for your plan,
um,
such as it is?
yeah, such as it is. I say, well, yeah, let's just go with one.
Okay.
Let's not tempt fate.
Does it seem likely, Max, that the door is going to hold long enough for us to pull this little trick off, or are they going to get through the door in a matter of seconds?
Larry, as the offboarder, you know the most about, the durability of materials. You confident you've got like 10 to 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. Good.
Ah,
We can go grab lunch if we want.
right? Quick lunch, maybe a bathroom break.
Yeah. And figure this
Uh,
stupid
The,
door out.
the surface level is pretty easy to break, but that's mostly cosmetic. All the, inner workings are much harder metals, and so
Mm,
it'll take them a while to chew through that.
yeah,
okay.
we've got time. If you want, we can have one person here to quick run if necessary back to us.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest that.
So we go back to engineering and grab one of those canisters and hopefully
Hoist it
be
back.
able to use it.
All right. Uh, who's going and who's staying? If someone is staying, then.
Oh,
I can stay.
okay. Larry and Billy will
All right.
go grab the canister then.
Sounds good. The 2 of you start making your way, and I'll ask for a check from the 2 of you as you get there and start trying to move these decently large, freezingly cold to touch
Oh,
metal cylinders.
I think I forgot that they were cold. Okay.
And as you guys do whatever sort of roll you're going to do, uh, Adam, Rice in this room, waiting for your 2 companions to come back, hear this cube continue to crawl as close and close as it can get. And one by one, you hear the actual, fully formed androids stop yelling at you, whatever they're repeating, die, you must leave, so on and so forth. One by one, they stop, and it sounds like back away. And then you hear this loud crunch as the cube comes to rest on the door, and you watch the whole face of it bulge with its weight.
Ooh. Mm.
All right,
I
you get a
rolled
roll.
my grit, which I have a modifier of 0, and I got a 10.
All right, and Mike,
I got 13.
okie dokes. You guys are definitely able to sort of teamwork lift the thing and move it, or even shimmy it down the hall as you go. But it is, yeah, as I said, pretty damn cold. Um, I know one of you has at least one of you has the like cold protective gear. Do both of you?
No,
I don't
it's
remember.
only Billy does.
Yeah, it's only okay. Oh yeah, because I was the
Okay.
only one who was willing to put on the suit of a dead guy.
Billy and
Oh, that's
Jonny.
true. Yeah. All right. In that case, with your guys' roll, between the 2 of you, you've got 5 points of damage. I will let you split that, however you want. One of you is like, okay, I'll hold it with my bare hands. The other one of you
Yeah.
gets to use cloth or whatever.
Well,
Split that
since I've
damage
got
between
the
yourselves.
cold friendly gear, I'll take the brunt of whatever damage we're dealing with here. Do you want to say 3 and 2, Mike, or 4 and 1?
Let's do 3 and 2.
Okay, so I'll take 3, which
All right.
puts me at 7.
That puts me at 3.
Oh shit. Okay. I think we've successfully hoisted this thing and we're carrying it back to the door.
Yep. You guys start shimmying with it as fast as you can go. Rice, do you do anything as you watch this door continue to bulge and then recede as the cube pulls back to get better leverage and then bulge again a little further this time?
I'll back towards where the other guys went.
All right.
To keep an eye on, like, to tell them to hurry up once I see them.
All right. Yeah. You back up sort of to the doorway and you can hear the two of them moving with this large container towards you. So you yell to them as you said you do. Obviously, the two of you hear it, but you're already kind of going as fast as you can with this thing. And as you round the corner, getting closer to this server room, you guys can hear the cracking and crunch of the wall, the ceramic panels and metal that forms the face of it, as they splinter and break away with how much force this cube is pushing on this thing.
Yeesh.
And just as you guys manage to bring this container into the room, you see like one panel out from the door manages to break away, giving you this little porthole so you can, to see the cube pushing on the door. It's like almost halfway through it if the door was open, but since it's not, just the whole surface makes this little dome where it would be.
And has it
All right.
actually penetrated the door, or it's just this bending, bulging?
Just bending and bulging, but
Okay.
pretty severely.
So I think as we're carrying it, as much as we're actually able to talk while hoisting this heavy ass thing, Billie is running through with Larry, like just trying to get an idea. Like the idea here is that we're going to put this in front of the door, and once this thing busts down the door, we shoot the canister and hope that it detonates in front of this
hopefully it does enough
creature.
damage.
Are we thinking that we need to wait for the door to be opened, or we're going to blow it up while the door is still closed?
Well, assuming that this is while we're still walking, yeah. But I'm imagining that when we get there, see how it is, it would be a different story.
Okay. All
Just
right.
deposit it, run out, have one person shoot it as far away as they can.
Okay. All right. Make way. Canister coming through.
All right. So yeah, where are you placing it? Like right in front of the door?
Close to the door as we can get it, I'd say.
Okay. Easily done. You lean it up against the, again, bulging wall as it sort of leans in towards you guys. The two of you set it down and look at the door as it threatens to fall on top of you. And you just barely catch through that little porthole an eye deep inside the cube that flits around wildly until it catches your guys' eye and then goes back to looking around everywhere.
Ugh. An android
three of
eye,
you-
correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, not a person eye.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait a
That
minute.
would be even more disconcerting. The three of you retreat. Sounds like. Where are you going?
I would say back south.
Yeah. Back to that doorway, take cover on the far side of the doorway, and then one of us leans around and squeezes off a shot.
Sounds good.
Who would you say? Probably Jonny would be the best shot, right?
You'd think so.
Honestly,
Harry was not rolling super hot as him.
Yeah, I would say, considering all the roles, that Rice is the best shot.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Rice is a
true.
pretty good shot.
Adam's a dead eye. Yeah.
All right, company accountant. Do what you do best. Shoot giant canisters and make them explode.
All right. Rice positions himself against the door. Are you guys waiting until the door is actually broken down to shoot it, or are you shooting it right away?
I would think. I mean, I guess it's. I'll.
I would say
How
that's
long?
a thing for Rice's side, especially considering that he was there watching the damn thing.
Yeah, I guess Rice would have a good idea of how long he thinks the door has left.
I think
Not
I'd like,
very, I would say.
yeah,
Not very.
I'd wait for it to like do it, like prepare to do it one more time, and then try and time it as it does it.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and give me a roll then.
Ooh,
Oh, damn.
yeah.
16. Yeah. You do, again, as you say, Adam. Rice pauses a moment as the door heaves forward and then recedes back, all these electronic and metal parts dangling from it as it threatens to break. And just as you hear that metal scraping of the cube, pulling itself, lurching forward, the door busts, a single panel, then another, then the rest on the upper rim of the door, and slowly that whole part of the wall just falls forward, revealing this cube and 8 androids that push forward, stumble over each other, and fall into the room.
8 of
And
them.
as you,
Oh my God.
uh-huh,
It's a freaking
as
baseball
this
team
group
coming
of
after us.
them falls in, you pull the trigger on your handgun, and there's this little, again, hiss as it passes through the container, and then this loud bang as it explodes. If you could roll me 5d6, please.
Go Adam, go Adam, go Adam, go Adam.
Damn, double 16s. All right. This container bursts in this cloud of white. Is Adam the only one sort of around the doorway in order to take the shot, or is Billie and Larry nearer, further back?
I mean, I've got
I'll let you
I'm
hear.
poking around the corner and my eyes are glued to this thing. I want to see every instance of this.
All
Larry's
right.
not. Larry's out of the way.
Okay. Can I get a saving throw from Adam and Pem then? Let's see, what save?
Combustion.
Yeah, I think that would make the most sense.
Okay. So it's 2d10, right? And then we just have to beat our save.
Yeah.
I don't like how this is going to go. Oof. My save is 15. I rolled a 7. So
Okay.
not so hot
That is
totsy.
Pam.
15 too, and I got 15.
Man.
Okay, you're good, Adam.
Yeah.
But Pem, as Billie, as you say, is glued on this container, watching every second of it, you kind of see in slow mo what I described. The bullet passes through, the little hiss of the first gas escaping, and then the pressure ruptures the container. Metal sort of unfolds like it was burning away to reveal its contents. And then the whole thing is a fog of white, and you feel the gas and a little bit of condensed liquid flit onto your face and get into your eyes. It burns in a deep cold way, and it sort of sends you reeling backwards for a second. You are blind for the moment.
I mean,
Adam,
this is
as you
one of the
make your
dumbest
save.
things I think I've ever done. Looking at this explosion. I don't. In my head, I was thinking like, "Oh, dude, this is gonna be awesome. I gotta see this." Now I'm like, "What in the hell was I thinking?" I guess
It
I do
was
have
also
-1
right after
caution,
what
so
hurt.
that makes sense.
Fair, yeah. Adam, as you make your save, you witness this whole ordeal completely fine, and again a beat passes as all this super cooled liquid decompresses into gas and then covers the room in condensation. This little bit of snow begins to fall,
Oh,
and as it falls, comes to rest. You see the androids, now just metallic corpses, splayed out all around, and the cube, half frozen to the ground, tries to pull itself with what few working arms it has. Everything is in tatters. All the androids are still moving, but you can tell most of them aren't threats. Only 2 manage to pull themselves up off of the ground, whole parts of their interior exposed, unable to really stand up straight, but they do stand.
um, really quick, Max, before I forget, did Billy take any damage from that combustion roll?
No, not. It wasn't close enough to really hurt.
Okay.
It's just your
Just
eyes are freezing
I'm
cold.
yeah, I'm impaired
You sort of
visually.
keep
Okay.
going. Yeah.
Um okay. Sorry. Yep, go ahead.
That's that. Rice, like I said, you witness all this. You've got one of your companions right next to you, like clutching at his face, and the other couple a little further down the hall behind you.
I'll let them know there's 2 left.
All right.
Billy shouts out, "What about the cube?"
It seems to be down.
Larry will rush up and take a grease wipe to Billy's face.
Aw, thanks.
The cure-all wipes.
The cure-all wipe.
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah,
grease wipes, but
Billy, on your
never knew.
freezing cold face, you feel this, liquid-covered wet wipe touch you, and it is also very cold.
Does it freeze to my eyeball like a kid's tongue to a to a playground pole?
If you held it for long enough, maybe.
Okay.
If you touched it right to the actual eyeball, yeah.
Okay. Billy, presuming that this clears up his vision somewhat, says thank you to Larry, and stands up as if to pull out the firearm and go blast these last few remaining androids and whatever's left of the cube away.
Okay.
That's a real man's man right there.
Sounds like initiative then?
Presuming we have something to fight, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
We still have to get past these things to get through the doorway, and I don't think, given we just blew the shit out of the door, we don't have a way to seal it behind us to keep them from following us. So
That double tap rule.
Yep, that's right. In the act of getting up and drawing his firearm, he checks to make sure that it's loaded too, so he has a full 6 rounds ready to go.
All right.
An initiative is just 2d10 or 1d10?
1d10
1d10
plus one of your stats.
I have a lousy 3.
Oh wow, yeah, lowest you can get.
Boy, I think I've had what, 3 rolls now, and each roll I've had at least one.
Oh damn, we got 2 10s though. So Adam and Mike, you guys are going first.
Well, actually, the pilot goes first.
Yeah.
That's true. Thank you for always reminding me ever
Yeah.
since the first time we missed it, because I
Yeah,
will
it's like the
always
coolest,
forget it.
the coolest fucking thing about my class. I got to make sure I take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, assuming, I guess Billy's first thought as he approaches to blow these things away is what looks like it's still the biggest threat. You said there are 2 androids that are able to pick themselves up off the ground. The cube is half frozen, but the other half is still moving or trying to move, or...
Yeah, the cube took a lot of damage, but it is still seemingly like moving cogently. It's not just random arms and legs dragging around.
Right.
And 2 androids are up at their feet still, not fully functioning, but functioning enough to be a threat.
Okay. Billy's going to, assuming that these things are still kind of recovering from being knocked on their asses, he's going to walk as close as he dares to the nearest one and put the barrel right in front of the thing's face and squeeze off a shot. And it's 2d10 plus a modifier, yeah?
Yep. Against whatever
10.
the android rolls. Oops, I don't know why I did that one.
Billy rolled a 10.
The android gets a 12, so you miss.
Rats.
You rush up to shoot the thing clean in its face as you describe, and just as you're about to do so, it sort of manages to finally pull itself fully together, and it sidesteps you right as you release the bullet.
Man, I'm going to say that my eyes still aren't right after getting all that cold douche right in the face.
Just getting covered in a lot of You're just getting covered in all kinds of viscous materials,
Yeah,
man.
no kidding. Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, so that's Billy's
that's
turn. He's done.
yeah.
All right.
I would
Now,
say
Adam and Mike.
I would
Rice and
say
Larry.
let Rice go first since he was the one most aware of what's going on.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess I'll take another shot at them.
All right. Androids or cube?
Androids are more threat at the moment.
All right. Again, you try to take a shot right as these androids are coming back online. So they're moving erratically. You can't quite get a easy shot on one of them and you miss.
Man, these are some squirrely androids.
I mean, they are kind of shaken up.
Yeah.
Uh,
You stun an android, it makes it harder to kill somehow. That's kind of funny.
All right, Adam, is that your turn?
Yeah.
All right. Mike.
um. So I have a question. Can I take a shot at one and then as my bonus action just light up a grist swipe and toss it at the cube?
I'd say one or the other.
Okay.
Those are both pretty intensive things to do.
Considering Larry's poor handling of a gun, I will go with the latter.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely. The thing is basically held stationary for now, so you're able to light up one of your wipes, as you said, and almost just sort of dangle it over the top of this thing and drop it in. Go ahead and roll me. How much damage does heavy weapons do? It's 2d6, right? Or no, it's 1d10.
1d10,
Instead of
yeah.
1d6. All right, yeah, go ahead and roll me 1d10 for damage.
Oh.
That will happen sometimes, unfortunately. All right. Now it's the android's turn. All right. Pem, seeing as you're pretty close to it, as you ran up to get
Yeah.
a cleaner shot.
I walked up to do the coup de grace and completely fucking missed.
Yeah, the one you tried to take a shot at is going to try and grab hold of you. Almost definitely does not.
Okay, 1 second. Whew.
Yeah, you're fine. Its like arm is blown sideways from the explosion. It's, the visual mechanics are completely frosted over. It can barely even tell where you are. So it just sort of blindly bear hugs in your direction. It's not hard to avoid.
I'm just able to
The
shrug it
other
off.
android, yeah, the other android, however, uh, rushes past you to all these blocks of servers that are, the nearest ones are sort of tossed over and frosted from the exploding canister, but some of the farther ones are still upright and intact. And it just starts pulling out cards again. Any that are there, grabs, 5 or so in each hand, and then is going to start making its way out of the room. You see it turn at the start of its next turn. Welcome back, Adam. You didn't miss much. And then what did you get for Inish Pem? It was like 3?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then the cube goes.
Ooh.
Larry, seeing as you are right near it, having thrown in this grease wipe to set it on fire, and you can see it's a small flame inside of it right now, but it's catching. It hasn't, gone out right away. But all the arms that can reach shift over to the face of the cube nearest to you, and start grasping out towards you. You gotta beat a 1. Yeah. It's, like I said, basically frozen to the ground. It can't even move to get closer to grab you. So these hands are just grasping at the air in your direction.
Man, good thing they're stuck.
Yeah.
So
And then that's the end of their turn.
yeah.
Pem. Back
Yes.
to Billy.
Okay, so the one that just tried to grab at me, I'm presuming I'm still kind of within, like, melee range of it.
Yeah.
I am going to, so as my movement action, I'm gonna, kind of, I guess I'm gonna shoulder check this thing and just try to, like, knock it away from me far enough where I can take a shot at it with my revolver without its limbs, like, getting in the way of a clean shot. So I'm just kind of, shoulder checking it, hoping to get a couple feet between me and the android, and then backing up and taking a 1-round shot.
That works. As you say, you give it a little check and it stumbles backward, really not able to defend itself well.
Okay, and then I fire 10.
You hit. There you go.
1d6 for damage, right?
1d6 or 1d10, depending on what kind of weapon you have.
Yeah,
I
mine's
don't remember.
Mine's a little police-style revolver, so one
All right,
lousy
you hit for
point.
1 damage. And excuse me for just 1 second, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Mike, thank God you're here, because I was ready to charge into that room and just start shooting.
And you were like, "Oh, there's 6. No, there's 8 more."
Yeah.
Uh,
If you wouldn't have lit up that rag, I would have been like, "Oh shit."
Okay, back, sorry.
welcome back.
Pem, that's the end of your turn, your movement, your action.
Yes, that's the end of my turn. And I'm
Okay,
down
we're
to
back to
4.
Rice then.
I guess I'll fire again. Not much else I can do.
All right. Same one.
Yeah.
All right. Are you shooting at the same one as Pem or the other one? The one's in melee, and the one is sort of just gathering up these cards and trying to flee.
We don't want to risk it getting any more, so do one that's trying to flee.
All right. You hit.
Nice.
So, D6.
You get a solid shot right in its side. It drops the cards in one hand, but grips tightly onto the other, and it's still up.
That's it for now, I guess.
All right. Larry's turn.
Okay. So if I'm picturing it correctly, I'm right next to the cube with its arms in front of it towards me.
Yep. Yes.
And Rice is between me and the robot that's trying to flee, right?
Just about kind of in a V between the three of you.
Okay.
Right, because I don't think Rice moved away from the doorway.
Yeah, I didn't hear him doing that.
Yeah.
And do I have a clear view on that robot?
Yep.
Actually, no, I wouldn't know that it's trying to run away, would I?
I mean,
Let's
in
say
combat, you guys have 360 vision, basically, right? It wouldn't take you
even
much
if you're
longer than looking over your shoulder to get your bearings.
Even if you were occupied with your grease wipes and everything, I think Billie or Rice would have been like, "He's making a run for it," something like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
unless
right.
there's like significant obstacle to you guys seeing something in combat, if one of you sees it, you all kind of know.
Okay.
Is how I'm willing to judge
Fair.
things.
Alrighty. Well, considering that the cube's fire is spreading, I will disengage from that and run a little bit further towards the running android and try to take a shot at it.
All right. Gotta beat a 7. You do. Oh, double one off from another crit.
Oh my
Dang.
gosh.
So close.
Wow. Right now, Billy's
So
feeling
you're
like
taking-
Ryson and Larry should just do everything.
You said take a shot at it, right?
Yes.
All right. You turn away from the cube just for a moment, level your gun, and take a shot at this android. And it stares at you with the closest thing something made of metal can feel to fear as you fill it full of a couple of bullets and it falls backwards, the light in its eye completely out. One is dead. Is that the
Nice.
end of your turn?
I'll take the extra second to step into the server room and put a wall between me and the enemies.
Okay. There's one android left, and it's his turn. And he is in a most threatening engagement with Billy.
we're just impotently swiping at each other.
Yeah.
I'll
Having
harm
pushed
you.
Having pushed him back a ways, he's gonna rush back towards you, Billy. Let's see. Gotta be at a 15 this time. Hey, here we go.
Okay.
I said threatening and I meant it.
11.
Yeah. No damage on this attack as it rushes towards you and tackles you. Both of you splattered down to the ground. This thing, its mangled body on top of you.
Oof.
And then it's Cube's turn.
Just for geography, how far away am I from where the cube is? Am I, an arm's reach? Am I a full body's length? Or am I like the other side of the room, roughly?
You're like a yard and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say like a person length.
Yeah, got it. Cool.
And the cube. The cube no longer has this tasty engineer to eat right in front of it. Well, who's it gonna go for? Pam, you're on the floor, and this thing, maneuverability is not its strong suit. I'm gonna say it can't really see you down on the ground. So all it sees left in this room is Rice right now. So it's gonna all its arms shift from the one face that was trying to grab at Larry and spread a little more evenly out, and it presses every single one of them into the ground to try and pull itself free of this ice. And you hear again the slow metallic grind that it always lets out, as well as that slight crystalline cracking sound of it breaking free of the ice until it all shatters around it, and it pulls itself towards you, Rice, but it is a slow moving creature, so it will not make it to you by the end of its turn. And
Okay.
after them is Billy. Pam, you're up.
Okay, so I'm on my back with this android above me, right? Like actually
Yep.
on top of me.
Yeah.
Uh,
You can see
okay.
it's leaning back, throwing its arms up, threatening to pummel your face in next turn, unless something is done.
Okay. Assuming I have, when I got knocked to the ground, I didn't lose my firearm, right? I've still got it.
No, yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
All right. So it's kind of straddling me, but it's upright. Its arms are up high above it, as if it's going to come down and smash me right in the face. So while it's still in that position, I'm going to take the pistol, point it at the center of its chest, and fire.
All right. I'll say go ahead and roll with advantage for this one. So go ahead and add another D10.
Okay.
Pick the highest of those D10s.
All right, so I'll just roll one more D10, and then it's between 6, 1. Shit, I said 2D10. Sorry.
Okay.
6, 1, and 7.
Yeah, that one came out first, so we'll call the
Okay.
7. So
7 and 6 then. Plus 1, so that's 14.
you hit.
Okie doke. 1d6. 6.
Oh, How do you want to kill this thing?
I think it'd be pretty awesome if this shot from basically point blank range just kind of blows a hole through this android's entire chest to the point where I can
Yeah.
actually like see through it to the ceiling beyond.
One more time this session, there's a beat, a pause in the action after you take your shot. As the android holds its position up high, there's this little spot you can see where your bullet went through, and it takes a minute, or it takes a second before the smoke from your gun moves itself out of the way of the hole, leaving this perfectly lined little hole through it. And then it just collapses backwards after, completely dead.
Sweet.
I'd say you still got your movement left, unless that's the end of your turn.
No, I'll stand up, and whatever amount of distance you think is fair, I'll move that amount of distance away from the cube without leaving the room.
Sure. Yeah, you're able to get yourself up and sort of stumble a few steps back from it.
Mm-hmm.
And then
That's my turn.
It's Rice's turn again.
I take a shot at the cube this time.
All right. You've got to beat a -1.
Damn, 19.
Holy shit! Yeah, super.
Whoa,
hits,
what's
definitely.
6? You have a 6 modifier?
Oops, no.
Oh, I was gonna
I
say.
don't know why I put 6. What was it? Degree 3, so 16.
Okay.
Definitely still beats a -1.
Yes.
Oh, but we need to know the correct numbers.
That's right.
You know what? Yeah, you could. You always want to get the credit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you hit.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm just gonna nickel and dime this thing to death.
You level your gun at one of these little openings in the cube where you can't quite see the interior as it's dark from, the shadow of all the mechanics. But you do see that usual little white speck of light from these things' eyes. And just as you shoot, one of the metal panels slides in front, covering it. Is
Crafty
that the end of your
cube.
turn?
I'm gonna back out of the room.
All right. You back away, I assume the same way that Larry would have gone.
Yeah.
All right. And then, Larry, it's your turn.
Okay, I'll step into the room, and I'm assuming it's towards the middle of the room by now.
Yeah, almost like perfectly so, I'd say.
Considering how slow it's going, I'll dash towards the eastern side of the wall, and I'll take a shot at it while I do so.
Go right ahead. Here we go. Now let's roll on high. You gotta beat an 8 this time. Oh, not quite though. You take a shot at it in the same sort of spot that Rice hit, and you can see your bullets just plink off the metal plating that makes up part of this thing's body.
This thing is still on fire a little bit, right? Like there's flame still somewhere inside of it.
Is.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you for reminding. Should have taken a little bit more damage. Okay.
Okay. Well, assuming that, well, not assuming it did happen. I'll go towards the eastern wall, try to draw his attention from the other two.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a roll for that, please.
Damn.
Again. 1 twice off from.
I just want to crit all the time.
Mike's edging toward a crit.
I got that high, man.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get your first, you're always looking for another.
Another hit.
All right, is that the end of your turn, Mike?
Yes.
Okay, cube. With a 19, it definitely turns its focus from measly little Rice to you, a healthy, spry engineer to crunch down on. It
Don't know
pulls
about healthy.
itself, it lurches in these two surprisingly fast but heavy pulls towards you. The room isn't so big as to keep it away from you any longer, and it's going to try and grab you. You got to beat a 6. All that's between Larry and life and death is a 6. Okay, you're good. All these hands reach out to grab you, and like a jock in a high school movie trying to flirt with someone, it presses all of them against the wall, leans in towards you, trying to crush you, but you're able to maneuver out of its way as best you can. And then, Pem, your turn.
Okay, so assuming that there is still some visible flame either on the exterior or interior of this thing, Billy has got an idea. He has in his possession a flask with 120 proof whiskey. He's going to get as close as he feels is safe to this cube, fill up his mouth with as much whiskey from his flask as he can fit, and then spit it either onto the exterior of the cube if the flames are on the exterior, or as close to the interior as he can get it where the flames are on the interior, and try to add some fire damage to this thing.
Honestly, I thought you were gonna just take a hit for one last hit and dump the rest in there.
Nope, I'm gonna try to get some projectile with the spit here. So let's say
All right.
2d10 plus 1. 8. Oh, rats.
What? You won.
No, you
Oh,
got
oh!
yours
I'm
is the
sorry.
first.
I thought Roland responded to me first, but it responded to Max first.
I just barely beat you. But the cube doesn't beat Billy, so it all comes out in the wash.
All right. So then, what should we say? D6 for damage?
We'll call it another D10.
Okay. I made myself a flamethrower. Oh
Oh
God.
my god. It's cursed. Heavy damage is
Yeah.
cursed.
I will say it's been taking 1 point of fire damage at the start of each of its turns since it was first lit, so I'll add that to that.
Oh, okay.
Every point of fire it's going to take is going to add up because, it's full of like fuel and oil and shit.
Yeah.
So
Full
it's
of combustible
continuing to
shit.
burn. Yeah. So
Also,
that'll
we're
take 2
probably
points.
breathing all kinds of petrochemicals while this thing slowly burns to death.
Living with Billy, I feel like this is probably the healthiest air it's gotten in a while. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes, that's the end of my turn.
All right, Adam, you're up again.
Oh, I'll reload the revolver really quick, but yes, otherwise my turn's done.
Sure thing.
Well, through the door, I'll take another shot.
All right.
Right number this time.
That hits.
Ooh.
Hey. There you go. This time distracted as it's trying to move its arms and eyes between Billy and Larry. You see a nice big opening in its body, and you shoot, and there's this little spray of oil from whatever tube you hit. And you can see like 2 arms fall limp, having lost any control. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
All right. Mike.
Okay. So is the eye thing facing me right now?
You can see, I call it a cube, but it's not like perfectly square. There are all these small panels it maneuvers around to try and let arms move to different positions. And in the little gaps, you can see every now and then one of those little white dots of the glowing android eyes. So you can see there's a couple sort of peering at you from deep within, a couple looking around the room, and a couple looking at Billy right now.
Okay. Here's what I'll do.
All right.
safe to say that I'm well within arm's reach, right?
Yes.
I will take out my electrical blowtorch
Okay.
and I'll try to fire in as far as I can inside.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and give me a roll.
We're each just jerry rigging some flamethrowers so we can try to kill this thing.
I'll give you a warning here before I make my roll. If you manage to miss, which is not likely with a 15, this thing would almost have to crit. Actually, it would have to crit in order for you to miss here. But if you do, a flamethrower in close quarters is gonna give you a little backsplash, let's say.
No, yeah.
Yeah, you're fine though.
Didn't really see much of a choice on my perspective, though.
Yeah, you definitely up. We'll call that a heavy weapon because fire, fun fact, hurts real bad.
Mm.
They did it in the Alien films.
That's true, yeah. All right. You pull the nozzle of your blowtorch forward towards this thing, and as you said, try to get it as deep as you can, and you wait for an opening and just let this thick gout of fire onto its inside. Is that the end of your turn?
uh, would you say I can dodge and weave out of the arms?
Yeah, sure. It is pretty distracted with being on fire right
I will do so.
Has a way of concentrating the mind.
now. Yeah, so where are you moving? You can kind of, I'd say your back is like basically against the, right next to the door exiting east, so you can go there, or you could go, obviously, through the rest of the room.
I'll go through the door to the east.
All right. You back out into the hallway with the familiar oil spray that you somehow managed to get completely clean of. And that's your turn?
Yes.
All right. Cube. Once again, its prey has escaped it, leaving someone else in its place. Billie, all arms turn to you, at least those not preoccupied with trying to grasp at its innards, pulling its own plates off it to try and get deeper in and put out this fire. The ones on the face facing you reach out and try to crush you. Gotta
Sorry,
beat a
Billy. I
5.
only got 3 HP.
That's all right. I'm gonna say it's my modifier is gonna be grit this time, which is a 0. So 5.
Wow.
Have we had a tie? Do we know if it?
No,
We-
yeah, we had.
We did,
and
and
it's
it was a
usually
few
win.
sessions ago. I think we said
Anyone
tie goes to
remember?
the player.
Okay,
I think.
that sounds good to me.
Does that sound correct to everybody else?
Yeah, it's usually a win.
All right. So you managed to dodge out of the way of this thing. You can see, even though it's just the same usual android arms of all these things you've been facing before, and certainly they hurt. When the cube reaches out to grab at you, you see its arms like rest on the desk and the servers that are next to you. When it grabs with that hand, it just crumples the metal as if
Ooh.
it was paper. And you
Jesus.
shudder for a second to think what it would do to you if it had managed to grab you.
Yeah.
But it didn't, and then it's your turn.
Okay. All right. Well, my fun flamethrower idea not quite working out the way that I wanted it to. I think I'll try to back away from the reach of this thing, say, I don't know, like 6 feet or so, and then fire the revolver directly at the center of it, assuming that I'm, firing at something that looks open, that's not, a metal plate on the exterior.
Yeah, go ahead.
2d10 plus 1. 15.
You hit.
D6. 3.
All right. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sure no one wants to hear, but that was a crazy ass burp. Excuse me. I'm lucky I hit the mute button in time. Otherwise, the
well
YouTube
done.
folks would have had a new experience.
Oh, I'm certain they would have been ecstatic for it, though.
Yeah.
With the other stuff we've talked about in this game, I don't think it would even phase them at this point.
Nope.
I think all they could have done if they'd heard that was this.
All right, you shoot through to the center of this thing, do a solid 3 points of damage. It's still up, but you guys can see it was slow before, but now it's sluggish, inattentive, half distracted, ripping itself apart to try and get this fire out. It is near to death. That's the end of your turn, Pam.
Yes, that's the end of my turn.
All right, Adam, you are up.
Hopefully I'll see if I can try and take it out.
All right. Gotta beat a 9.
Nice.
You do. Another shot deals decent damage, but does not put the thing down. Is that the end of your turn, Adam?
Yeah, I'll stay in the corridor.
Mike,
Dude.
it's you.
We are emptying entire weapons lockers at this fucking cube, I swear to God.
I know. I'm tossing flipping grease rags,
Yeah, we're spitting at
electrical
it.
blow torches, spitting, shooting. I mean, I'm legit running out of tools for this thing.
Yeah.
Man. All right, I take a shot at it.
You hit.
Ho ho!
There you go.
Yeah.
With 6 more damage, again, you level your weapon at this thing, Larry. You squeeze off a shot. How does it die?
I take a shot from. I'm guessing it's turned towards Billie, right?
It's still
Yep.
coming at me.
So
Any arms that are still in control of the cube are all reaching, stretching as much as they mechanically can towards your pilot.
Okay. I take aim towards the center of the cube and lining up with one of the frantically moving eyes. I shoot straight at it, both blinding it and destroying what remaining life it has.
Yeah.
Nice
There's
shooting, Tex.
only one eye left staring at you. You raise your gun perfectly in line with it and take a shot, and you see that one little spot of light replaced with darkness and a little bit of smoke as your bullet passes clean through it. And Rice and Billy, you can see the eyes on all the rest of the cube look around as frantically as they ever have, and then all at once snuff out, and the cube ceases movement.
Finally.
Billy reloads the revolver and sticks it back in his holster, and meanwhile is looking at Larry and says, "Hey, fast thinking, Larry," and then looks at Rice and says, "Nice shooting, Rice." And also Jonny and Richard too, but they've been fridged, so
Nice being here.
nice existing, guys.
Good support, guys. I'm just glad that that explosion took most of them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good thinking.
Yeah.
Especially given our damage rolls, can you imagine how long it would have taken us to kill 8 of those things? That's nuts. Okay, before we get further into what we do next, is anybody opposed to taking our break right now?
Sounds
that
fine
works
to me.
for me.
Okie doke. Then you want to reconvene in, say, 10 minutes?
Sounds good.
Okay. See you all in a bit.
All right. So we return. Here in the server room, a handful of dead androids and this large hunk of metal rendered worthless. The small fire blazing inside of it.
Are there any desks in here, or is it all just servers and stacks?
Yeah, I'd say there's like a tower of servers right in the middle of the room and a row of desks going all the way around. So yes.
Okay.
There's
Billy is
plenty of
going
desks.
to search the drawers of those desks and see if anybody's got any booze in there because he needs to refill his flask. Maybe he'll get lucky if somebody left some booze in a drawer.
Oh yeah, go ahead and give me a roll.
Okie doke.
I'll start gathering up the badges while he looks for his drink.
All right.
8.
Yeah. You look through, and unfortunately, you
Rats.
find in one of the desks a little note that says, "Reminder: please do not order outside drinks and food frivolously, and please keep them in the canteen or cafeteria when they are delivered." Seems like someone got caught, unfortunately.
Damn. Puritan space station.
Larry, which cards are you gathering? Just the ones that the androids had already picked up, or are you getting like all the ones that are currently plugged into these servers and all that extra stuff
Well,
too?
yeah, I was just gonna gather the ones that were on the floor, like near
Alright, yeah,
the android, because
easily done.
I'm assuming that the ones that they already had are either like uh burnt or broken due to the explosion.
Yeah, less burnt, more frozen, and then shattered.
We had a whole bunch of different elemental damage going on in this fight.
We were just missing some thunder, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys could have had the full wizard brigade.
I'll start gathering them and put them on the on one of the tables.
All right. Yeah, the android only had managed to grab like 10 before you guys took him down, so you just scoop him up and put him down pretty easily.
And the badges say names on them, right on, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'll start.
Yeah.
If that's the case, and if it's just a few, I'll start pulling the ones on the terminals down as I go.
Sure. Uh,
And
there are plenty more plugged in currently.
okay.
Like the one stack of these like servers are also about chest high, and they go up like 3 stacks all the way around in a circle right here in the middle of the room. So there's tons of servers, and each of them has like 4 or 6 slots for these cards to be plugged into. There's tons of them.
Hmm. Okay. I'll take a brief second to look through the ones I already collected to see if I recognize any of the names that we need, and I'll start pulling the ones on the terminal, doing the same.
All right, yeah. As you do so, looking over the ones you've already got and grabbing new ones, you don't see any names that you've already heard or read before, and it doesn't seem like there was any, particular rhyme or reason to which ones the androids were grabbing. They were just grabbing the nearest ones. So there's not really any pattern. They're not. They're from every station and not every rank, but they span a pretty wide amount of ranks and sort of cap off at like 3 ranks down from the director.
Hmm.
Upper management, basically.
And there's no way to tell on the terminals what kind of ranking they have, or is it just all just put in there, determined on a order
You
that
could
we don't know?
kind of piece little bits together. There's definitely like unique marks on the cards themselves that seem, kind of close to like a army or a navy ranking system. Right, the number of like bars and stars and such that you have. Uh, but which exact, it's kind of hard to tell.
Okay. I'll start looking more towards where a higher rank like an admiral would be. I'm assuming I don't see a section for sciences.
Like I said, yeah, they're sort of all over the place.
Right.
And you look and look and look, but you don't find anyone as high as
All right.
Admiralty here.
Well then, since I can't find anything, I'll take a break from my search and I'll ask Billy if I can borrow his first aid to patch myself up.
Okay.
Yep. Billy hands over whatever it is that Larry feels like he needs. He also offers it to Rice if Rice feels like he needs it.
How are your eyes doing, man?
I feel like they're clearing up all right. It's still a little blurry, but at least they're not frozen.
So, what do you think the androids was gathering these badges for that
I
admiral for?
have no idea.
Apparently, some admiral was looking for them.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, I don't. He was gathering them and making to run out the door, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and before I closed that door, they were screaming about an admiral and then trying to kill us.
Yeah.
Let's go where they came from.
Maybe whichever admiral it is the one that's behind what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. The eyes.
Maybe.
Or the eyes are in opposition to whatever the admiral is.
That seems more likely, yeah.
Um. Okay. Well, assuming everybody's fixed up, I propose. Billy proposes we march through that door we just blew the shit out of.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's continue the search.
Yep. Unless,
Okay.
Larry, you concluded what detective work you were doing with the badges, then.
Yeah, as far as I can see, the badges that we need are not here.
Okay.
I would imagine we would need to do a more thorough inspection to determine if it's here at all, but I would think not.
Okay.
All right. First, Larry, with your medical kit, you're able to heal D6 hit points. And then once that's all done, you guys make way for the hallway. Who's leading? It's a pretty wide hallway to, accommodate the cube. So
Blimey. And
you guys can kind of stand shoulder to shoulder if you wanted to.
already.
Yeah, I propose shoulder to shoulder sounds good to me.
Yeah.
All right. You start making your way down. The hall goes straight west for a ways before turning north. And as it goes, you come to a little T section where it turns west again and continues further north.
Uh, Keep going north then. Oh wait, no, we're at a T. We're at a T intersection. You said.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And there's no indicators of uh, rooms or departments along the wall, right?
No sorts of signs or anything, but looking west, you can see the hall isn't very far before it reaches a door, and you can see the usual, office chic style gives way to just pure rugged metal. There's this big hefty door, and the rug stops a good couple feet before it reaches there, and all the paint is sort of cuts off.
Hmm. Billy gestures at the door like, "This is the way that I'm thinking we need to go."
You think that the admirals would be a more sparse area?
Well, I guess let's remind me for a second.
Well, what we're looking for is either the Chief Advisor of Science Division's badge
Yeah.
or one of the four admirals' badge.
Right. Okay. Um, I guess hearing the androids talking about the admiral, I didn't when I was their crazy jumbled speech. I didn't imagine that they were saying that the admiral was somewhere nearby. I was imagining that they were just referring to some Billy in Billy's mind trying to find the badge we were looking for before hasn't changed. But he's I mean, if you guys feel differently, you might have a better understanding of what's going on than I do.
My, as from Larry stating, it would be that as I understand, one of the admirals is somehow commanding the androids to gather all the badges and leave no witnesses.
Ah, okay.
But from the door, we can't progress any further east until we
Right,
get
till
a
we get the
badge.
badge. Yeah, that's what we're looking
So, from out of character, it looks like to the west, it's becoming not that much of an office space
for.
and
Right.
possibly a more military uh, occupancy. And to the north, I didn't get a description that would be more of an outside of an office space, and maybe the chief advisor's room would be somewhere there.
Okay. Then, yeah, that's. I think we should be looking for the chief advisor's room. Uh, yeah, I guess Billy's not thinking that anything that the androids did or told us would change his mind about what we should be doing next, but he's open to argument if you guys feel differently.
I'll just go
Open to being
along.
persuaded, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Larry would be more inclined to try to find the chief advisor's stuff,
Yeah.
which, from Max's description, either we would go north or back down south and search one of the rooms there.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. Oh, sorry. a piece of the cover of my headphones fell off and it landed on my shirt, and it's just this little piece of black plastic, but for a second I thought it was a spider landing on me from the ceiling. Whew. I'm all right.
It's okay, Pam.
Okay.
The monsters aren't real, as far as you
Bravest
know.
soldier in the spider war.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, it's happened to me. I'm sure you guys remember this, but it's happened to me on streams before too, where like all of a sudden out of nowhere there's just this spider dangling in front of my face. I'm like, whoa, shit.
Right. So Larry proposes going north.
Yep, I'm on board.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. You all continue north until that part of the hall turns east. You can see in front of you, again, a decent ways down the hall, is a door. A standard one, not the huge metal one behind you.
So it's
Yeah!
a door.
Sorry, Mike. You cut out and then you came back for me right as the sound started to play.
Well, the problem is, I've noticed that with my mic, it catches what you guys are saying as well. So I've been using push to talk. So I was trying to click into the open soundboard to do the cooling,
Okay.
and then say door. So that's what the cutout.
Tricky.
Well, Larry is only at 4 HP, so he's not volunteering for the door opening this time.
Billy will try it.
Okay. What's the plan?
It's a panel. Is that correct? Like a control panel door, or is it a handle and just push it open?
Yeah, that's fancy.
Okay. Yeah, he's going to beep boop beep against the panel and see if he can get it to open up.
Sure, yeah, it's only a couple of button presses through the menu. And you are able to do so. You hear the familiar hiss as the door slides open, and another familiar sound. You hear these little simulated ducks as you look into the other end of the botanical little garden area, the lounge.
So we have already been in this space, but from the other side. Is that correct?
Yes.
Does that mean that we have gone the wrong way, Mike? I'm trying to.
No, we just chose the wrong way.
Okay. Not much
I
point
guess
in
we-
going in further, or
Yeah, I mean, we didn't find anything previously,
okay.
so either we just continue forward and go south, or go west into that uncarpeted region.
I want to try and look in the duck's eyes, see if it's like just like just a way to look around, like it by itself, or a way for something to look through?
One more time.
Trying to look into the dog's eyes to see if they're using it as like just as a way to get around, or if someone can
Okay.
use them.
Yeah, you go and investigate the dock, and you sort of peer through it, and you see it's like just a plastic sort of shell put over a speaker.
Okay.
It's like a lawn ornament looking thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was imagining that that was being like piped in over like the PA system or something. There's actually an
No,
artificial
no.
duck there.
They're the
Yes.
space station's gnomes.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yes.
What a fun space station when it's not trying to kill us.
It was all giggles and joy up
Mhm.
until the moment. So I guess we go back and try investigating the western path then.
Sounds good to me.
All right. You'll make your way back just a short distance down the hall, and then you're presented with that big, stark metal door. It does not have any sort of fancy panel. It's got, this big wheel that you turn, and you can see the locking system on the face of the door.
Hmm. Okay. Unless, yeah, Billy's just gonna walk up to that wheel and try to give it a crank.
All right. It's tough, but you grab hold of it, and you are able to slowly turn it around. Takes a little while, but eventually you get it open, and after it's unlocked, it just sort of errantly swings slightly into the room. Not, fully open, just ajar a little ways.
Okay. So Billy is going to quietly poke his head into the opening that the door has just created and see if there's enough light in there for him to get an idea of what's going on inside the room.
You peer in, and there is a small amount of light, but this room is significantly darker than really the whole rest of the station. It doesn't seem like there's any of the, bright overhead lights. It's just a small handful of lamps and lanterns scattered around this. Excuse me again. Oh, goodness. I don't know what's going on with me. Something medical, surely. Uh, you see a dark, cramped, but large room with a maze of like desks and cots and all sorts of things in here. Just barely
Hmm.
illuminated by handheld lanterns and lamps and
Okay.
flashlights
And
almost.
nothing, seemingly no threats inside the room as far as I can see.
Yeah, none. None
Okay.
obvious, at least.
Okay. Billy turns around and gives the rest of his group a look that, says, looks okay to me, and he steps inside the room.
Okay. Larry will take a step in, and considering that it's a hatch door,
Hmm.
I will take a brief look around to see if I can find some kind of like, I don't know, some kind of metal pole that I can put into the doorway to keep it from
Sure.
closing.
Yeah. This is just the room to find a spare metal pole laying about, and indeed you do.
Okay, I will go ahead and do that while staying out of the way of the others if they choose to go in.
Yeah. Well, I'll wait a few seconds to see if anything happens and go in.
Okay. You pause a moment.
As he comes in, I was like,
Nothing.
"Yeah, you're not closing this one."
All right, yeah. Everyone's in the room. Nothing crazy pops off, at
Okay.
least that you guys can see.
Um, Billy's going to crack a glow stick and just hold it out high over his head and see what that illuminates within the radius of the light it produces.
All right. You indeed crack it and lift it up to light the room, and you see all around you is clothes. Looks like, you know, soldiers' clothes, security garb, that kind of stuff. More formal than whatever stuff you've found before. and almost all of it is splattered with blood in one way or another.
Ooh. The clothes are orderly, like they're folded, or they're in kind of they're just thrown about.
Yeah, just randomly on the ground.
Okay. Hmm. Why would people who had been bleeding on their own clothes leave them on the floor?
I mean, considering what we've seen with the other bodies and androids, they were probably taken away.
Oh, yeah. Huh. Um, on the nearest set of clothes to where Billy's standing, he's just gonna kind of rifle through them and see if there's a badge or anything otherwise loose in the clothing.
Yeah, you look through, you find a locket, a badge, and this little, chain necklace that ends in a sword ornament.
Hmm. What
Cool
color is the
colors.
badge?
Uh, what color is security? I forgot. It's
Uh,
that color.
Blue.
blue.
Blue. It's a blue. I almost said green. I was like, no, that's definitely science.
Yes. Green science, blue security, yellow's management.
Yellow management.
I
Very
forgot
good.
what
Thank you.
there's.
Red was command, I think.
I don't remember. I remember there was a fourth color, but I couldn't tell you.
It was red, and yeah, no, it was command. I don't know if you guys. I think you guys found one of those so far.
Okay. Well, we have a badge of that type, so I don't think Billy's gonna take it. The lock. You said there's a locket. Does it open? Can I open it?
It does. You see a picture of a young man on like his first day in boot camp style clothes and haircut, cleanly shaved face, and his arm wrapped around a young woman. It's very clear that the two of them look in love.
Hmm. Okay. Um. All right. Billy's gonna show the Larry and Rice and Johnny that he found a badge, but make it clear that it's of the same class that we already have. Otherwise, I'm just
Um,
gonna leave it with the clothes that I found it with.
All right.
Larry will just say that I imagine that if we're looking for an admiral one, they would either be on a set of clothes that look a lot more distinguished or
Yeah,
in a separate room by itself rather than these like commons.
yeah, like a Class A uniform kind of thing.
Hmm. While we're here, I'll take a quick glance around to see if I can see a emergency uh, medic bag.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and give me a roll for that, please.
While Larry does that, Billy's gonna kind of walk the perimeter of the room and see if there's like any closet doors or cabinet doors that look like they might house a uniform or something like that.
Okay. Mike, I swear to God, if you had crit a search for a medical bag, that would have been perfect.
Um,
Uh, with a
I'm
20, you
trying.
definitely find a small medical cabinet with all the things you'd need to refill the one that you've got with you right now.
Okay, man, I'm trying so. I'll go ahead and grab one to give to Billy since he's out, and
Thank
I'll
you.
take another one and use one of the three that it has on myself.
Okay. As you do so, Pim, you said Billy's walking around the perimeter of the room. What are you looking for?
Just trying to see if among the clothes that are kind of scattered about, if there's anything that looks like a fancy admiral uniform, or failing that, if there's anything like there's a if anything on the walls would seem to be like a clothing closet or something that somebody might have stuck a uniform into.
Okay. You go around the perimeter of the room. You don't find anything fitting that description, but you do find a small terminal, and opposite it, the small terminal, like on the northern wall, and opposite on the south, is a little staircase going to this very cramped-looking space, low ceiling, thin or tight walls.
And that the staircase is going up or down from where I am?
Down from where you are.
Down. Okay. I'm gonna call the group over and just let them know about the terminal, and then toss my glow stick down the stairs and see what happens.
Okay. You see it. Ding, 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 ding. You hear it land at the bottom of a very short flight, and it rolls until it hits the wall. It illuminates that there's a little hallway that seems to sort of loop around from the bottom of the stairs, but nothing occurs after you throw it.
Okay. Well, I'll just I'm gonna fill the group in on the terminal and this staircase, so that everybody's aware of what I found. And then,
After going around the perimeter of the room too, just to sort of give you the layout, it's a handful of like bunks in each corner of the room, and a small cross hallway where the terminal and staircase are opposite each other,
Mhm.
and then the door you entered is opposite another similar door on the other end.
Okay. So there's another exit from the room besides this staircase down.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, Billy's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask. The stairwell goes both up and down.
Just down from where you are.
Okay.
Okay. Billy's gonna at least descend the stairs to collect his glow stick and see if he can figure out where that hallway is wrapping around to.
Okay. You make your way down, dunk, 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 dunk of your footfall on the metal stairs. When you bend down to pick up your glow stick, though, you realize that your footfall didn't stop when you stopped moving. And you can
Ooh.
hear a little echoing from down this hall that you can now see, kind of hook shaped from the staircase into some further spot. You can hear that same sound, that dunk, 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 in a repeating tempo.
And it's clear to me that this isn't the echo of my own footsteps. This is something.
Yeah, there's a different source from this
Yes.
noise.
Okay. All right. I'm going to discreetly poke my head back up the stairwell and whisper that there's something down here.
Okay.
I'll quickly pass over the medicine bag that I got for him, and move up behind him.
That's kind of funny that as soon as I'm off by myself and I hear something, you're like, you're gonna need this medical bag.
Yeah. So I'm above Billy right now, and I got my wrench ready.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be in the stairwell.
Okay. Billy is still at the bottom of the stairs. He's got his revolver drawn, but he's not really pointing at anything. He's just holding that glow stick up and slowly, step by step, inching down the hallway in the direction of the sound that he heard, assuming that Rice and Larry are behind him.
Okay.
Sure.
As you lead down this hall, as I said, it is very cramped. You have to like hunch pretty well over in order to fit. You turn as the hall does, and basically as soon as you turn the corner, you're hit in the face with the obvious smell of like blood and decay.
Ooh. Okay. And from where I am, no source for that smell. It's
Nope.
okay.
Your glow stick just barely illuminates from where you are now to the end of the hall as it, like I said, turns around. You can see there's a much smaller staircase that goes down, like, one or two steps as this hall opens up into a still very small room. And you can see just at the lip of that stair is blood slick from that step down into this room.
Okay. All right. Is the hallway open enough that Larry and Rice can see what I see, or do I need to turn around and relay to them what's going on up here?
They would have to sort of round the corner that you've made, but if they did, yeah, they could barely peer over your shoulder or, around your side, but
Okay. So,
barely.
yeah, Billy's just going to turn and kind of whisper. He's going to whisper to them, like, we're getting a little far away from what we were originally looking for. I'm not sure if it's going to be ahead of us in this creepy, bloody space that's making these weird noises. If we should go back.
Well, the option is either see if whatever's dragging the bodies is down there with the admiral badges, or we go back up and search the other room.
All right. Billy's going to hoist that glow stick and keep slowly moving toward the blood he sees in the hallway up ahead.
Okay. As
Let's
you make
go.
your way to the mouth of the hall and take a couple of steps down, you can stop crouching, but as you do step down, you can feel the stickiness of the blood as it pulls up. I don't know what kind of shoe Billy wears, but if it's, a boot with a good amount of sole to it, it almost reaches like the top of your foot.
Holy shit.
And you can see there are plenty of bodies here, all of them human. And you can hear the noise, that repeating metallic sound in the far corner.
Oof. And the current light level doesn't illuminate the far corner?
Not quite.
Okay.
It's like just barely beyond the bound of your glow stick right now. To Billy, perhaps the smell is nasty but livable. To the other two of you, unless you've spent time at like a mass grave, you've never smelled anything like this.
I'm pretty certain that's a no.
No.
It's rot unlike anything your nose has smelled before.
Billy turns to Rice and Larry and he's like, hey, you guys, this smells like that one time we hung out at the mass grave. Oh, wait, you guys weren't there. That was just me. I forgot about that.
That was during your downtime. It was between jobs.
Well, got the cockpit cleaned up. Got a little bit of leave coming up. I think I'll head for that mass grave.
Man, you shouldn't judge people on their choices of vacation. But
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
It was either mass grave or glory hole, and Billy's got his interests all figured out.
Each to their priorities.
That's such a fucked up vacation choice. Like, I'm gonna finally take this leave I've been saving up. Do I want to see the glory hole or do I want to go see the mass grave? Stupid. Okay. Yeah. I think. I mean, blood almost to the top of my boot is pretty gross, even for Billy.
Larry will lightly tap on Billy's shoulder and dangle his lantern to see whether or not he wants me to try to shine up ahead.
Oh yeah, Billy gives an affirmative nod.
Okay, I will turn on my lantern and see if we can get a clearer view of whatever's making the noise.
All right. Is this like a bullseye lantern? Does it give a cone of light, or is it just all around you?
I would say cone of light for
Okay.
going whatever it's facing.
Yeah, you flick on the lantern, just like dead ahead from you.
Yeah.
All right, you flick on the lantern and you see this small, like, chest being used as a desk, and sat behind it is the corpse of what was once a man, splayed out in this like gruesome face of death. Definitely wearing the nicest outfit out of anyone here.
Nothing indicating what's making the noise?
He may have still been describing. He muted himself.
Oh. Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Man, Billy, when you make a choice, it leads us to some weird places.
Oh man.
All right, sorry, I had a visitor for a second.
Mm-hmm.
No worries.
So yeah, you see this person dressed less like security staff and more like, an actual commander of some kind of force sat behind this desk.
Hmm.
Okay. And I will start panning my lantern slowly to see if I can locate the source of the noise.
All right, you move right towards the corner that the noise emanates from. You pass over another dead person dressed fairly similarly to the first. And as you reach the corner, you see a second chest also being used as a desk, over which is the body of another person, but the body is still in motion. As you linger the light on it, you it takes a second before you realize it is an android. Some part of it is still receiving energy as its arm just turns over and over, smacking the desk, producing this noise.
Hmm.
Um, like a Pem earlier, a noise.
Sorry, one more time.
Pem was making that sort of noise earlier.
Yeah, it just sounded similar to the boots on the steps.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Which makes much more sense now, considering that there's a bunch of liquid on the floor.
Right. Um. Is this android still conscious in any way, or is this just kind of a mechanical reflex that it's still moving?
Um,
Or can we tell from where we are?
with the angle you're at and the lantern light, you can't see like if its eyes are on or anything,
Mm.
but no part of it is moving except for its arm. I mean, its body reacts as it pushes off with the arm, but it doesn't look like it's trying to lift itself up and failing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like this is a random occurrence from a dead android
Okay.
as it burns out what's left of its 100-year battery or whatever.
Okay. Well, with one hand on the revolver and one hand holding the glow stick, Billy's going to slowly slide around the room toward the first body that Larry's lantern illuminated. The whole time, kind of keeping. He's going to be, kind of rotating himself so that he's constantly facing the freaky android thing as he sidles around to the dead commander.
Sure thing. Yeah, easily done. There's not really anything in your path except for the bodies that you're able to walk over. The android makes no move at you as you get closer. And as you get closer, you see it's not wearing the usual, Mr. Helpful jumpsuit. It is also dressed in, military security style
Hmm.
clothes.
Okay. Am I closer to the android right now or to the dead body at the
Your
chest?
choice. The android is in your right hand corner. The body is center uh, of the room.
Okay, I'm going to go toward the body, and I'm looking for two things. First is any kind of insignia of rank on the uniform itself, on the whatever outfit it's wearing, and then obviously a badge if there's a badge on the body.
All right. You are able to find both. Also, both in the breast pocket on the uniform. In it is the badge. It is a bright red badge, and uh, sort of embroidered on it is Admiral, and the number of bars and such that would designate such a rank.
Okay, a name or just the rank?
Just the rank.
Okay. I'm going to hold the badge up to show Larry and Rice, and then slowly move back to where I presume, where they're still standing. And again, keeping my eye on that android the whole time.
Okay.
Anyway, when I get back, I'm going to hand Larry the badge and kind of whisper to Larry and Rice, I think this might be what we're looking for.
Larry will nod, green and give a nod to Rice to start heading back.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's make our way back to that stairwell up into the room where all the clothes were strewn about. Is that the plan?
Hmm.
Okay.
I can say that I don't think Larry wants to be in this death-filled room.
Yeah, understandable.
It's disgusting enough just thinking about all those bodies being dragged down here, enough
Yeah.
to liquefy the floor.
So as we're making our way back to the stairs, assuming that it's like we're a distance away from that space, that Billy feels like it's safe to talk without being overheard in case that android actually wakes up. He's asking, or he's I guess asking slash commenting to Larry and Rice, um, what was that space like? The corridor that we came in to get to it was so narrow that we could barely, we couldn't even walk abreast. We had to be hunched over to get to it. It kind of feels like this is like a little forgotten access tunnel or something like that. And then you get down there and there's a dude in a freaking admiral uniform with a badge. There's blood all over the floor, bodies everywhere. Like, they had chests set up as desks. It almost looked like it was like an emergency, um, like
Holdout?
yeah, like it started out as, hey, we've lost HQ. This is our emergency HQ in the meantime, and then something, obviously, as things got even worse, it just became a friggin' body dump for
Yeah.
presumably the androids were dumping bodies.
Yeah, it seemed to me like it was like some kind of last last resort location for command for
Yeah,
Admiral, anyways,
yeah,
Yeah.
and whatever subordinate that was, and then shit just went real bad, and whatever it was, androids or whatever is controlling them, it just dragged bodies down there.
right. I am really curious why that android was wearing a similarly high-ranking uniform, but not curious enough to
Yeah,
actually walk up to it and mess with it.
I mean, yeah, I kind of want to investigate the room, but
Yeah,
I don't think Larry
I think it's
is
oppressively
willing.
awful. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think Larry's willing to investigate that specific room.
yeah. Just having to walk through the blood and the smell was enough for Billy, I think. Okay, so I'm presuming then we make our way back to the room with all the clothes strewn about. Is there anything that we want to check out here before we head back to that door that we think we might be able to finally get through?
Um, I I don't think Larry needs anything. I mean, he already got the medicine packs, so
Struck out of the new wrench.
maybe get some ammo if you need it in case.
Okay, yeah. Is
Yeah.
there anything that looks like an ammo cache around, Max?
Not down here, but as you guys are making your way back upstairs, who is like closest to the stairs while you guys are in this under area?
I presume that
Obviously,
Billy is in
Billy
the
went
back.
into the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be Rice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rice, as you guys are all sort of having this conversation you just had and turning around to make your way back upstairs, you being the furthest back are the only one who hears the soft metal squealing of a door, of one of these two specific doors, in fact, being unlocked, and then the footfall of, boot on metal above you guys.
Oh fuck!
Well, I signal to them to shush
Okay.
and point off.
All right. Does everyone shush?
Uh,
Shush.
Billy very quietly whispers, "Fuck."
All right, you guys all hush for a second, and now you can all hear what sounds like at least three people stepping above you guys, and you can tell they are getting closer and louder as they make their way to the stairwell. What do you all do?
Is there enough space around the stairwell that we could, set an ambush? Like we could hide off to the side? Or is it strictly stairwell
It's
and
single
tight
file.
walls?
Well,
Yeah,
we're
it's
still
tight.
in that room. We would still have to go through that tight turn just to
Yeah,
even get a
exactly.
look at the stairwell.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
our options are either to meet them in that small corridor or meet them in here. Uh, Larry, with a very regretful look, indicates with their hand signals that they stay here and set up.
Yeah, I think I don't want to be close to the blood room, but whatever whatever point between the blood room and the stairwell is the best spot for us to have space for us to each have a shot at anything coming down the stairwell. I think is where we should be setting up.
We could play dead in the blood room.
Oh man.
I'll tell you
Oh
what.
man.
Even Billy doesn't want to lay down in that shit.
Um.
If you guys are looking to get the drop on anything, I would say, yeah, the corridor is too narrow. Like, even if one of you was able to stand there, the two behind wouldn't be able to get a shot on anything except for that person.
Right. Okay. And just to be clear, so that I make sure I have the geography correct, if somebody or something comes down that stairwell, there's nothing else down here they would be getting access to except the blood room, right?
It would, yeah, just be the blood room.
Okay. All right. Then, yeah, I propose, or I'm sorry, I'm not proposing anything. I'm actually following Larry's suggestion that we hole up here at the entrance to the room and take whatever cover we can.
Yeah. Larry will, with his lantern, start moving towards the back left corner, and assuming that the other two are going to be moving around, I'll leave it on long enough for them to do so. And when they're done, I will turn off my lantern.
Okay.
Okay.
Billy has an idea, and Max, I'll let you tell us if there's enough time to pull this off before these footsteps get too close. But um, his idea is to walk over to that android he previously said he wanted to have nothing to do with. And if it's not too heavy, he wants to pick it up and lay it down in the corridor so that its one jangly arm is like beating on the floor out in the corridor, like, at the entrance to the room. The idea being that whatever's approaching will maybe be this thing can act as a diversion. If that makes
I'd
any
say, yeah,
sense.
if two of you work together, you could get that done before whatever's coming gets
Okay.
here.
Billy motions to Rice, since Larry's already moved off. Billy motions to Rice to help him move the android over to the entrance of the room.
Yeah. How
All right,
about?
yeah, you are able to do so. You set it down, and the repeating knocking that it's doing gets slightly louder as it's knocking on, like hollow wooden floor instead of this
Yeah.
hollow metal floor instead of this smaller metal chest.
Just to be clear, Billy's expecting that whoever's coming is probably already familiar with the space and may already know about the android, but he's hoping that the confusion of seeing it out on the floor will give them, an extra second or two before they extra second or two to see what the fuck it is that's actually coming.
All right.
Okay.
And after that, is Rice and Billy taking spot anywhere, or just sort of
Uh,
wherever there's room in the
take
middle?
cover. I'm going to take cover as close to the entrance as I can without being seen from the corridor.
Okay, yeah, there's enough corner that you could stuff yourself in there.
Okay.
And Adam, what about you?
Yeah. Well, I'll go and hide behind where the android used to be, I guess.
Okay. All right. So you guys have taken up all the corners that you can, and you wait for a moment, the only sounds being the repeated thumping of this dead android and the footfall of whatever's above you getting closer and then making it to the stairs. And you can hear them, jostling against the wall as they crouch and duck down to fit in the space. Uh, Pam, seeing as you're, sort of against the entrance, you can't see down the hall. But Rice and Larry, you guys see as this figure turns the corner. Unless your lantern is still on and facing down it, Larry, is it?
No, I turned it off.
Okay, I thought I caught that, but I wasn't sure. I just wanted to check in. Yeah, so in the darkness, then, you can't see the figure, but you do see the two piercing white android eyes turn the corner, crouched, making their way into the room. They look sort of blindly dead ahead, not focusing on any one thing, until it gets basically right to the corpse of the android as it's beating, and it looks down at it and sort of looks back over its shoulder and then looks down at the body again and steps out into the room but doesn't avert its gaze from that. And you see another android follow after that one. And both of them just sort of stand here at the opening of this room, blind to the three of you, looking at this body blankly. There's no like expression. They don't say anything, but they just look at it.
Okay. What amount of space is between Billy and the androids that have stepped into the room at this point?
You could touch
Like,
the closest
no.
one.
Yeah. Okay. I am going to put my revolver right up against the head of the nearest one and pull the trigger.
Okay.
Nice.
Let's get initiative from everybody. Pem will say that doesn't happen in initiative.
Okay.
That is basically a coup de grace. I'm not even going to have you roll to attack. You
Okay.
just kill this one. You
Cool.
place your barrel of the gun right behind it, and as it turns to react, you shoot, and it drops with a light splash of blood onto the floor.
Yeah. If Billy wasn't scared shitless, he would have had a really sweet one-liner. But my initiative is a lowly 2. Oh wait. Roll 2d10, or is it 1d10?
No, it's 1d10.
Okay, 1d10. Yeah, mine's
Oh,
2.
is it?
Yeah. 1d10. You guys don't have to reroll. You can just take the first number on the dice there. So.
3.
9.
Okay. Pem, you go first as a pilot, followed by Mike.
Okay. Assuming that relative positions haven't moved, except the one android is now on the floor, I'm going to take a shot at the one next closest, and also trying to aim directly for the head if I can.
All right, go right ahead. I'll say go ahead and have advantage on this one since it's
so
pretty
3d10.
surprised. Yeah.
I won't put my modifier on. I'll just do it manually. So that'll be 9, 17, 16 plus 1, so 17.
You hit.
Okay. 4.
Okay. You take another shot at this one. As an android, even mechanically, it flinches at being shot. But it doesn't go down, and after the surprise of you being here initially wears off, it looks up at you away from the body.
Okay. If I have any more corner I can back into to get away from this thing a little bit, that's what I'll do. Otherwise, I'm just going to press myself up against the wall as tightly as I can for 2 reasons. One is to try to stay out of the reach of the remaining androids, and the other is so that I don't catch a stray from Larry and Rice taking their shots if they do. And that'll be my turn.
Yeah. You're able to stuff yourself as deeply into this corner as you physically can.
Mm-hmm.
And then both androids go. The one that you just shot, Pem, is going to almost zombie-like just raise its arms and march towards you. And a third exits out of the hallway and takes a moment looking around. You can see the white light, Rice and Larry, of this one's eyes take a moment scanning the room before the light gets much larger, sort of disappearing the artificial pupil it once had. And you could tell it does another scan this time with some sort of enhanced vision, and it can make you two out. So Pem, one attack on you.
Okay.
Beat a 12 or you get hit. And then
I rolled a 10, so
okay.
I do take a hit.
Do a little damage.
Mm-hmm.
You take 3.
Okay.
And Adam, the third android that pours into the room, takes a minute to decide between Rice and Larry, and it decides on Rice, so it is going to march over and try and make an attack on you. Gotta beat a 10.
Okay.
hits you as well for 1 point of damage. And that is the end of their turns. And Mike, you already went them. So now it's you, Adam.
Actually, I didn't go.
Oh,
Yeah.
you didn't?
That
Oh,
was
wait,
Adam
did
who
I?
just went.
Hold on.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I went first,
Empty.
and then
You went first because you're
then the
pilot.
androids.
And the androids. Hold on. What'd you get for your initiative? Oh, yeah, okay, sorry. You were supposed to go before them, Mike. That was my bad.
No worries. So one of them knows I'm there.
Yep.
The other one doesn't.
Yeah.
And I was able to recognize that the other one noticed us.
Yeah.
Um,
It, like, makes eye contact with you before it turns away towards Rice.
would you say that I'm equidistant to both androids?
Yeah.
Then I'll just go for the one that's on Billy and try to get a
Okay.
surprise attack on that.
Go right ahead. And yeah, since it doesn't know you're there, go ahead and add an extra die.
Is it an 8? Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that's an 8.
So that is a miss.
Well, so much for
Just
that.
barely.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Surprise! Ah, shit. And I don't think I can take an extra action just to try to trip it, right?
No.
Then,
Just to be clear, his miss didn't hit me, right? Because I am really close to that one.
No. It
Okay.
came real close. It, like, flies right in front of Billy's vision. But no, it doesn't hit you.
Billy lets out a loud Jesus.
I'll go ahead and turn my lantern back on and back up a few steps.
Okay.
Now that you've missed, you're like, maybe I need a light source.
I know, right? Let's go for
Then the
sneaky and then
androids
fuck
they
it
do
up.
the damage they do. And now it is... Whose turn is it?
Right.
Now it's Rice, I
Yeah.
think, right?
There we go. Correct.
Well,
I'm just imagining Billy wrestling with this android over in the corner in the light of a glow stick with bullets whizzing by his head. It just must be completely wild.
Well, to be fair, I went in with my ranch.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I thought you were taking shots.
Bro, this is Larry.
I would take a shot against the one that went for me.
All right. That is a miss.
Damn. There's some deft fucking androids.
So that first thing that Billy did was just complete out of combat thing, right?
Yeah.
And then Billy did his normal first action thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he has another turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I think it is right now if Adam is done.
Yeah, I think I'm stuck in the corner here.
Yep. All right, yeah.
Okay, so this is Billy's turn now?
Yep.
Okay. So assuming that he's, in melee range of this android that's coming at him, zombie-like, he makes kind of a pistol whipping swipe motion at it with his gun hand to try to back it off from him, and then fires a shot at whatever is the most central large target. So if it's a chest-like, right at the torso, center of the torso.
All right, yeah, go for it. Gotta hit a 13.
9. God damn.
You were saving all these rolls.
I know, yeah. These two androids are the real killers of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fighting
you
freaking
managed to
Corvo
push it
right
back, as you said, and as soon as you have range, you take a shot, and it just goes through non-damaging parts of the android. It looks down at, pierced metal and no mechanical defects, and continues at you. Is that the end of your turn?
I'm gonna, if it's possible, I'm gonna keep trying to back away from this thing, but I'm assuming I'm still within grappling range. But yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Now, Mike, it is your turn.
I'll take another swing at it.
All right. There you go. 5. Yeah. You super hit.
Yeah, I either super hit or super fuck it up.
Hmm.
All right. You said you're going in with your wrench this time?
Correct.
Okay, yeah. You take a nice big swing at this thing, uppercut it in its jaw, and the android looks up and then falls backwards, incapacitated.
Nice shot.
Thank you. I'll start heading towards Rice.
All right. And then if that is the end of your turn with the movement,
Mm-hmm.
all right, one's going to try and attack you again, Rice. Again, a 13. 13's my lucky number, apparently.
Hmm.
I'm
Except
rolling
on
it
a
a lot,
Friday.
and it keeps hitting. So Adam, that's an attack against you.
Did we lose Adam?
We may have done.
Oh,
There he
he's
is.
typing.
Yeah.
Oh, I was muted.
Mm.
Oh,
Just barely hits for another 1 point of damage.
Glancing blow.
Yeah. It keeps trying to like grab down and crush your throat and clavicle, but it slips in the blood and just sort of tumbles over you. And that is the end of its turn. So now it is who? It's Rice?
yeah, it's Rice's turn.
Yeah,
All right.
I fight back. Oops.
210 plus 3 definitely hits. Yeah, you hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Damn.
Wow. This thing pissed you off.
Yeah, when Rice wants something dead, it dies.
It didn't make the
You.
proper notation on its time to clock out.
Yeah, you level your gun midsection. You blow a hole in this thing. You see metal bits and oil falls out. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
All right. Pem.
Okay. Do I have a clear line of sight between myself and the android that's wrestling with Rice right now?
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't think I'd feel comfortable shooting at it on account of it's probably in between me and Rice, and if I missed or the bullet went through the android, there's a chance I would hit Rice.
Yeah, there's probably like a perfect straight line between you, Larry, the android, and Rice.
Okay, and just to be clear, we're still in the room with the bloody floor, right?
Yep.
Okay, so Billy is going to take a charge at this android, and right when he's about 5 feet away from it, he's going to slide in the blood and he's going to basically try to slide tackle this android, so take out its legs.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So just a regular attack roll then, 2d10 with a modifier.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that's acumen.
I did it.
God, what luck.
I don't know if there's much special that happens on a crit where you're defending, but first, you definitely don't hit it. Billy does as you described, where you stow your gun for a moment so as not to shoot either of your two companions down here, and you rush forward. And right as you pass by Larry, you splash down in the blood, and it splashes up like as high as your knee, Larry. It just coats your clothes thick with it. And you slide perfectly. Like you, for a moment, are like, why did I never consider a career in space baseball. It's such a beautiful slide as you go right between this thing's legs and slide onto Rice. I'd like you to make an attack against Rice, please.
Oh man. So a roll an attack roll or a damage roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Same thing you just rolled. 2d10 plus 2, and then
Oh.
Adam, go ahead and defend.
Come on, Rice. Fuck me up.
Adam's got to beat an 11.
Dude, if I end up killing Rice, oh, thank God.
Whoa.
You two collide, not enough to really hurt either of you, but you're stunned for a moment and you're in this big jamble where you're trying to roll to get on top and untangled from each other. And that sounds like that's going to be the end of your turn, Pem.
Yeah, that's gonna be the end of my turn. Meanwhile, the fucking android is like, it's hammer dancing out of the way of my slide tackle. Damn,
Larry, it is
that was gonna be
your
so
turn.
cool in my head.
Oh boy. Is the glow stick still a light source or not?
Yeah, I've got it like kind of. Well, I'll tell you where I tucked it when combat started, and I'll let Max make the call. But I kind of tucked it into the breast pocket of my overalls, essentially.
Okay, yeah, it's still providing light.
All right, I will go ahead and drop my lantern, take my wrench in both hands, and try to whack it in the head.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I wish you better luck than I had.
Gotta beat a 7.
Oh-ho!
We're try a 7, that works. Go ahead and roll damage. Alright, you give a solid whack to the back of this thing's head. You cave in a little bit of its, plastic composite material skull. And it stuns for a second, but very quickly comes back to life. Is that the end of your turn? Still got movement.
At that point, I'm just gonna back up a bit.
Okay.
You don't want to join us down here on the blood floor?
No, I think you got enough space between yourselves for nothing.
And with that, seeing as you two are still kind of scrambling between the two of you, Rice and Billie, to get up and get on your feet and actually get back into combat, this thing is going to make an attack against both of you.
Fantastic.
With advantage. Crits are so rare, they gotta be pretty crazy when they happen. So whatever first output it gives will be Rice, the second one will be Billie. So Rice, you've got to beat a
20.
What's that? A 14. Pam, you got to beat a 12.
I rolled a 12.
All right, so you're good, and yeah, you're both fine.
Phew.
It just sort of collapses to its knees and grabs both of you to try and start strangling you both out. But as it does so, it kind of needs to separate the two of you so it can focus on what it's doing. And in doing so, gives you guys the space and ability to get back to your own bearings.
Aha! So my slide tackle gave us the.
It worked in the end.
Yeah, put us in a position where the android couldn't do damage to us.
It's not the middle that matters; it's the end, guys.
Yep.
And then it is Billie's turn. No, it's Rice's turn. Excuse me. You guys got like one off from each other, I think. Your go.
If it's a backup, I'm going to try again.
All right. Oh my god,
dude! What
wow!
The fuck!
Like, don't even bother rolling at that point.
No, I'll win with that one.
Another 210. Hey, that beats a 21.
That does.
Do I actually get?
Oh, dude. Good roll
so
for nothing.
And you try and take a shot at it. I assume you're still using your pistol, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you try and take a shot at it, and as it does so, its processing is like spot on. It must have blood helping the conductivity of electricity through its brain. It grabs your hand with the gun and slips a finger behind the trigger so you can't pull it.
Holy
It
shit!
wrenches the gun around to point at you, and it's going to make an attack against you.
Oh my god!
Oh my
What the
god,
fuck?
You got to beat a
dude!
20. Holy
You
shit.
saved all these rolls.
I really
Holy
did.
shit!
Dude, I swear to God, if Rice dies, it's meant to be.
That hits for 2 points of damage. It turns the gun around on you, just sort of palm over it, and even through its own hand, it decides to shoot, and the bullet does not pass with enough strength to kill you through its own hand, but you feel it hit you, and your vision goes for a second as the force of a bullet strikes your forehead and then bounces off.
Does this android look like Keanu Reeves by any chance? It's fucking
Man,
Jesus.
Excuse me for just 1 second, sorry.
Rice, are you how close to being dead are you?
2 points.
Oh my god. Okay, we gotta kill this thing. What a waste of an awesome roll that you had too. What did you roll?
Yeah.
You rolled a 21? No, you rolled 20. You rolled a 20. Ah.
I mean, I don't know if it would have worked either if he had beaten it. I think the critical success would have overridden it.
Yeah. Still. Oh.
The only way
Which
we could
one of you humans killed my dog? I will kill you all.
Oh, that was great.
It's just a fucking android dog.
Rice, that is the end of your turn after it makes an attack against you.
Yep.
Billie, you're up.
Okay, I'm still on the ground, I think, right?
Sort of half on your butt, half on your knees.
Okay. And how far away is the android from me? Has it made any
It is
distance?
holding you by the collar.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, it's close enough to give a love tap.
Okay. So I'm on my knees with my collar in the grip of the android while it is also shooting Rice, rather.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see. I holstered my revolver so I could do the awesome slide tackle that ended up not being that awesome. I think at this point I will just grab the the pistol out of the holster, and with as much force as I can muster, I'm just going to swing at the android's head. So kind of, I'm in the action. I'm standing up and swinging all in one motion to try to take a shot at its head. Not a shot, rather, but a swipe at its head.
All right, go right ahead. Gotta be a 16.
God damn. With my shit rolls, this is probably not going to work. Oh, 16.
Wow.
It does. Oh,
D6 for damage?
Yeah.
Okay. 1.
It's small, but every little bit counts. Pem, how do you kill this android?
So I swing with the revolver in an upward motion. I'm trying my best not to. I'm keeping the swing nice and compact so that I don't hit Rice accidentally with this big, haymaker type swing. And in the swing, I end up not so much like swinging the pistol at it, but I almost kind of stab the barrel of the pistol into the android's head, which is not at all what I intended, but it works. And I kind of, as the barrel makes contact with the, what would you call the skull of this thing, there's some sparks fly out, and it just kind of buries itself in the middle of its head, almost to the point where, like, not quite up to the wrist, but the knuckles of my hand actually on the grip of the pistol kind of puncture the back of its skull. That's how deep in the penetration goes. Deep penetration.
Deep.
Yeah!
Oh, yeah.
Just went balls
you
deep on this
strike
android's head.
This thing, as you said, just cave through its head, and there's a flash of sparks. And as soon as that sparks is over, the android short circuits and collapses after you barrel through its face.
First person to kill John Wick. Ah, that's combat, yeah?
Movie. That is.
Oh,
All present androids are dead.
man.
We were just talking about how rare crits are.
Yeah, no
I
shit.
know.
And then we got, what, like 3 defensive ones? 2 defensive ones?
Two in a
Two.
row, almost.
God.
Man, that was nuts.
What a relief. I'm glad that's over with.
Mhm. Yeah, you guys are sticky and gross, but alive.
Yeah. Sorry,
I think
Billy's gonna make a sincere apology to Rice for dumping him in the blood with his slide tackle maneuver.
Larry will go ahead and start trying to get that android off of them.
yeah, you're able to pick it up and sort of shift it aside and give them both breathing room.
I presume that android we left at the doorway is still banging its arm on the floor.
Oh yeah.
Billy's gonna walk up to it and just stomp on its head as hard as he can.
Okay, you do so, and other than your slightly glowing glow stick, as you crush this thing, there's a single flash of light as its eyes light up and then go right back out. You crush it, and then the motion stops.
Thank God.
Why'd you kill Fido now?
That'd be ironic if that was the John Wick dog and I only killed it after I killed John Wick. Whew. Okay.
I'm thinking that's a good point to drop it, no?
Yeah, that was exactly what I was just about to get to. As combat comes to an end, this seems like a good place to call this session.
Perfect. All right, next time we can start off by trying to find Rice an emergency shower.
Yeah. Any septic.
Yeah. Load him up with antibiotics.
Maybe some alcohol.
Yep.
Both for rubbing on and drinking.
Mm-hmm. Just find some Everclear. Wow, that was I think that feels like it was the most intense session we've had to this point.
It totally was,
Two
man.
fights.
Man.
Sometimes
Dude,
we have to zero fights.
explosions,
2 very tough fights
exploration,
too.
and then a whole mess of blood.
Yeah, Rice was hanging on by a
Most of it
thread
not
too.
ours.
Whew. Yeah, most of it not ours. You're right. In terms of percentages, it was like 95% not ours. Okay. So then we'll be trying to do this again on Saturday the 2nd. Does that sound good to everybody?
Yep.
Yep.
Cool.